I wanted to wish everybody a happy new year. And I thought I'd start out the new year by talking a little bit about the workforce trends that I have been reading a lot about in the last couple of months. These trends that are being predicted for 2023 in terms of workforce and education. I have tried to synthesize in this short blog this morning. I've tried to synthesize what I've been reading from Deloitte and McKinsey and Coursera and the Manpower Group. So most of these trends won't be of surprise to any of you. And I just want to talk a little bit about thinking about how they impact or will impact our workforce development services over the next year. So of course, the first trend is really thinking about digital literacy for me. I think digital literacy is something that we need to really incorporate into our workforce programs. I think we do it to some degree, but we tend to confuse technology skills with digital literacy skills. And there really is a difference. I mean, technology is about how to use the equipment and how to use the devices and some of the programs probably that are on those devices. Digital literacy is really learning how to understand what you've read on the internet, learning how to use social media, some of those kinds of things. And I think that digital literacy is really so important to help people for the workplace of the future. So that's the first thing that I'm thinking a lot about, is how to incorporate real digital literacy training, whether it's in work-based learning, classroom training, or some combination of both. And the second trend that I'm thinking about is that as more and more workplaces are becoming more hybrid, the need that our customers will have to have executive functioning skills. If they're going to be more self-directed workers working from home, they're going to need time management skills, project management skills, time on task skills, and self-discipline skills. And so I think we really need to be focusing on those executive functioning skills in our workforce and education programs and scaffolding them into any of our other subject matter that we are training. So that's the second thing. And then the third thing is that, as everybody knows, employers are constantly looking for talent and looking for the right talent. And again, we need to be clear that we are talking to employers to find out what the skills are. Now, I know that most of us are finding that employers right now are saying some of the requirements that they had in the past, like requirement for a GED, they just need a body, and so they're giving up on some of those requirements. I still think it is important for us to understand what the skill sets are, because employers are going to either be needing them in the near future when things turn around, or people need them so they can be able to progress. And then finally, people are leaving jobs at record numbers and changing jobs. And so we need to be working with employers to understand the culture that is required of the new workforce, so to speak, their need for more flexibility, their need for professional development, and other things. And so I just think that those kind of four key things need to be thought about more as we develop our workforce training programs into 2023. Finally, in all of the reading that I've been doing, there have been a lot of statistics, as you can imagine, but there are three that I thought kind of support these trends and talk to us a little more. So I'm going to read them so I get them right. So one was that a survey of United States business executives by the Boston Consulting Group and Google found that only 36% of business leaders believed institutions gave students adequate training. Think about that. Only 36% of leaders think institutions give students adequate training. And they pointed to another survey data that showed that only 30% of career centers had partnerships with industry. So I think that that's a pretty telling statistic. A second one is that in another survey, 37% of job seekers would consider taking a cut in salary to join a workplace that offered skills development. So especially the younger workers that are coming in, they want flexibility, life-work balance, we know that, but they also want to get some professional development. So we need to be working with employers about how to make that happen. And finally, some of these trends are really affecting inequalities at the workplace. And one telling statistic was that McKinsey noted in a recent survey that 54% of the job losses were suffered by women, even though women only make up 39% of the workforce. So I'm thinking about these things. I hope you are too. And I'm looking forward to the new year with excitement for our work and how we can continue to help employers and job seekers gain access to each other and to opportunities. I hope you have a very happy new year. Thank you.